and welcome to the Book Bunch. My name is Sam. It is so great to have you guys here for another book review. Today we are going to be reviewing this middle grade, currently it's a duology, but from the way book 2 ended, there is obviously going to be some more in this series, but this is a middle grade series by E.S Christison, and she very kindly sent me these in the mail to give an honest review on. So we're going to do that today because it is middle grade March, and I thought I would read these ones in honor of that because they are middle grade Christian fantasy and they are definitely worth at least a little bit of hype, but I will leave that, guys, up to you. I would give each of these ones about a 4.5 out of 5 stars. They were quite captivating and I did enjoy them quite a lot. It was definitely one of those books that once you pick them up, after a few sentences, you kind of find yourself sucked in. And I did get a little annoyed every time I got interrupted while reading these books. So first, I'm going to just give a little shout out to these covers because I think they are awesome. They are really, really nice covers, really clean, and I like the matte finish on them as well. I think they're really nice. And she was very kind enough to sign each of them for me, and she popped a bookmark in there to go along with them as well. But what are they actually about? So Blameless, the Blameless is the first one, and we follow this young girl here, Bree. She is the princess, and we start off in the middle of some action because it's like the middle of the night and the castle is being raided and being taken over, and she witnesses the murder of her family, and the last thing her mum tells her to do is run, both for her sake and for the sake of the kingdom. So Bree takes off at a run and she goes and hides in the town below the kingdom in a blacksmith shop. She's trying to stay hidden. She can hear the soldiers coming after her, and she gets grabbed by this man right here in the middle, this big guy, and she freaks out thinking that he is a bad guy, but he very quickly reveals himself to be a good guy. And he basically gets her to safety, and they meet up with his two friends who are also good guys as well. There is Derek, Cove, and Flinton. Yeah, those are the names. I can remember if it's Flint or Flinton, but it's Flinton. And yes, they are what is called the Blameless. And the Blameless are these people who for generations have been kept secret, as they are people with magical powers that are gifted from the gods. The gods are, there are 3 gods, it's like a trinity, you could say, and they have blessed certain people with these different abilities. And there are lots of different abilities. Each person normally only has abilities that are derived from one of the gods, whereas there are a few people who have more than one god's powers. And yeah, they've been kept hidden for quite a number of generations for various reasons, but they have always had the role of advising the current king and queen as of to what to do, because they are selfless people. So the way they get their powers is by doing a great selfless act, which then allows causes the gods to bless them and give them these powers because they can only use them for selfless reasons. And yeah, Bree is kind of swept up in this. She finds out that the Blameless are still alive because she didn't know. It had been secret to her as well. And she finds out that she is a Blameless as well because of her selfless act in running when her mother told her to, because she wanted to stay and be with her family and see if she could help her family, but she selflessly ran because that is what was right for the kingdom. And yeah, she finds out she is a Blameless and has to try and train and hone her skills and everything because her life is under threat. The guy that took over her kingdom, he is ruthless and he is hunting her down because he wants to take her captive and like use her powers for evil and like all of that kind of thing. So yes, that is book 1. And then book 2 we have is The Tarnished, and the people on the front of this cover is our main character Bree, and then her best friends, which are Cassie and Teo. And we do meet Cassie and Teo in the first book as well, but yeah, they are on the cover of this one. And basically what happens in book 2 is more of the same as the first book in regards to she is still honing her skills, because in the first book she's like 13 or 14 or something, so she's still like 14 or 15. In this second book there hasn't been a huge amount of time passed. Like I think across the 2 books there's only like a year of time that's gone past or something like that, so she's still training and everything, which is totally reasonable because a year is not very long when you have powers and everything. Plus there's other skills that she is learning, like archery and stuff, that aren't to do with her powers. She is also trying to find a way to basically take back her kingdom, because in the first book she was able to kind of get a better idea of why Valak took over the kingdom, what his agenda is, that kind of thing. And so now in book 2 she's trying to basically come up with a plan as of to how to do that, and try to get to the bottom of how he's able to control Blameless. So what's been happening is he has somehow been able to force Blameless to do his bidding, even though the acts that they are doing are not selfless acts, and it's like basically warping their powers, and the Blameless don't have any like choice. It's like their mind's been taken over almost, or their powers have been taken over almost, and like you can see the struggle within them of these people that have been taken over. And yeah, so Bree has been trying to figure out with her friends as well how he's able to do that so that they can hopefully break whatever control he has over them. And yeah, he's been in book 2, he's slowly been getting more and more Blameless on his side, and she's trying to find people to have on her side as well so that she can kind of have a proper battle and like really take over. And she's finding out all these horrible things of what he's doing to the people in her kingdom as well, and she's really struggling to stay hidden and not intervene, especially because she has powers. She's like, surely there's something I can do, but there's this fine line between her being able to intervene and maybe saving a few people, and her possibly being caught and even more people getting hurt and all of that kind of thing. I did really like this series in the fact that there's some good twists and turns, especially in the second book, and also because the age of the character and the emotional responses and decisions she makes feels like, for the most part, they suit her age. My biggest struggle with middle grade books is that either the character is young and they're written too young, or they're like young, like they're meant to be a young person, but they're written too maturely for the situation. And so it feels like there's a normally a disconnect in middle grade between their actual age and the age of the situation and the age that they portray. But I feel like this was a very, very well written, in the sense that the age that she is matches the age of her character and her decisions and her emotions and the situation she's been put in, which was really good. Like, for example, when her family died, she had a lot of very strong emotional responses to that. And some of those responses were immature. And that is a good thing, because she is like 13, 14. Like, she should be having these like hasty, immature outbursts and responses. And there's quite a few circumstances where she comes up with these very bold plans, but she hasn't got that higher level thinking and wisdom that comes with age to go, hang on, I need to step back for a second and I need to really think this through and figure out what the consequences are going to be and if the pros outweigh the cons and all of that kind of stuff. And so she just jumps into these situations, make these quick snap decisions, and then finds herself in trouble or whatever, or things haven't gone to plan because she hasn't taken that second. And then her guardians in these books, these older men that she calls her uncles, that are training her, they kind of come in and they go, Brie, you didn't think about that. You need to, especially like because you're going to be the queen one day and because your life is at stake, you need to be more careful. You need to be more wise in your decisions. You need to plan and take a breath and go, okay, is this the right plan for right now? And not try and jump the gun on things. And they're very good at that. So there's a nice balance between the two, which I really, really appreciated, which is why it got such a high rating as well. So yes, I definitely recommend this for middle grade March, or just middle grade in general. I do definitely feel as well, if you do like reading YA and all of that, you'd also like this, because it didn't feel too young either. It was completely clean. It does have an undertone of Christianity in it, in regards to like the gods are a trinity, and all of that kind of stuff. And it's very much so has a strong undercurrent of good versus evil and morals and selflessness and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know what else I can say about it without giving too much away, but that is the Blameless series. I definitely will be picking up the third book whenever that one comes out, because I definitely want to know what happens with Brie, if she ever gets her kingdom back, and if she does, how that is going to play out. Because there's a few options at the moment, a few ways that this whole situation could go. I also kind of want to see how her relationship with Teo develops, because like this is definitely a story about friendship, and I don't know if that friendship is intended to turn into a romance or not. There hasn't been any romance so far, so I'll be interested to see if, like, as the series goes on, if that is the intention, or if it's purely just meant to be like a Lord of the Rings, Frodo and Sam kind of situation, where everyone is just friends and it's just about good, strong, deep friendships. But yeah, so far a total win. Definitely recommend this. Sorry if I feel I seem a little bit flat today. Just still struggling with some things, and there's been lots of testing and stuff going on. So yes, I thought I would at least jump in and give you my thoughts on these books while they are fresh in my mind. And I'm sorry to Christison that I can give it the passion that it deserves, because it definitely does deserve more than I'm giving it. But yes, highly recommend. Go check them out. I will leave probably her Instagram below, or if I can find her website, I'll leave that below so you guys can go have a look and check out her things. But yes, that's everything for today, guys. I don't know how this next week is going to go because I should be able to get a video out on Wednesday. Not too sure about this coming Saturday though, because I'm going away camping with quite a few friends and stuff. I don't know if I'll get a chance to pre-film or what, or if I'll just take the opportunity to take a step back. Don't know, but I'll keep you guys updated and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great week. Bye.